Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Nikki Perez, and I am the mayor of the beautiful city of Burbank, California. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome all of you to the media capital of the world. I can confidently say that we live and breathe storytelling here. This industry isn't just a part of our identity, it's the backbone of our local economy. We are home to household names like Warner Brothers, Disney, and Netflix Animation, along with a myriad of labor unions and guilds representing our entertainment workforce, including IATSE, the Animation Guild, SAG-AFTRA, and the American Federation of Musicians. On a personal note, as a lifelong Burbank resident and the proud daughter of a Teamster Local 399 member, my story is like many others in our city. I grew up driving with my dad along Magnolia Boulevard, picking up costumes for wardrobe from local shops, flowers for sets from local florists, and yes, back in the day, film reels to and from post-production. That's why making real, meaningful change for residents and businesses has been a top priority for me. After more than a year of work, I'm excited to share that on a local level, our City Council and I approved the establishment of a creative industry task force. This new group is bringing together community professionals and individuals working closely in this space to help guide the council in making smart, effective changes that benefit our industry, keep jobs in Burbank, and help create new ones. Beyond the local level, we're incredibly proud to support the expansion of the California Film and Television Tax Credit Program. Program 4.0. And this program isn't just about incentives. It's about investing in a future that includes more inclusive hiring, greater workforce development, and opportunities that uplift every corner of our state. I would like to personally thank Assemblymember Rick Chavez-Burr for championing this issue. And for standing boldly for our entertainment industry. I would like to thank our entire legislature for ensuring that this was a priority, because this is not just about our industry, this affects all of us. And thank you to Governor Newsom for ensuring that our industry is funded. Thank you for your bold vision and continued partnership. And let's keep the cameras rolling here in California and here in Burbank. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Colleen Bell, California Film Commission.
All right. Thank you so much, Mayor. Thank you so much. What a joyful day in California this is. So excited to be here. Thank you so much to Jeff Worth for hosting us here today at the ranch. I am absolutely thrilled to stand here with Governor Newsom, our incredible partners in government, the California Film Commission Board, members of my team from the California Film Commission, the Flicks, and so many passionate leaders from the industry and advocates, all of whom helped to bring this historic expansion to life. Today we celebrate more than just a number. Increasing our annual film and television tax credit from $330 million to $750 million is a bold move. And it is also a deeply strategic one. It reflects who we are as a state, what we value, and where we're going. This expansion is a direct result of vision, tenacity, and a shared belief that California should not only be the birthplace of film and television, but its home now and into the future. From the very beginning, this effort was led with courage, starting from Governor Gavin Newsom right there with his bold and unwavering commitment to keeping California at the forefront of creative production, the most bold governor that California has ever had when it comes to entertainment production. Governor, your leadership made this moment possible, and we all thank you. And to Dee Dee Myers, who has helped shepherd this effort through every phase, your partnership has been invaluable. And my team member, Leah Medrano, Deputy Director of the Film and TV Tax Credit Program, I mean, who's been incredible, who's standing right there, but very, very much a part of why we're here today, standing here, celebrating. We also owe a tremendous debt of gratitude to our partners in the legislature, to labor and guild leadership, to our production companies and studio heads, to the local communities that welcome these projects, and to every crew member, every creative, and every small business that makes this industry thrive. This expansion is going to mean more jobs, more investment in our communities, and more stories being told right here where they belong, in California. Because we know that the world is watching what we do. And with this landmark investment, we are sending a clear message. California is open for production. California is open for innovation. And California is open for business. Thank you all so much for being here today. It's my really wonderful, distinct pleasure and honor to introduce actor, writer, and producer Noah Wiley.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much. I'm apologizing for being in wardrobe, but I'm on loan from Warner Brothers just down the street for a finite period of time. And I'm thrilled to be here representing the cast and crew of The Pit. And to talk a little bit, thank you very much, about a TV show getting made in Los Angeles right now, which is what we're doing. Last year, we filmed for about 135 days, over 7 months, plus 2 months of pre-production. We employed about 350 people full-time. We then brought on an additional about 1,100 people, averaging 200 new people every day. We worked with about 1,400 background performers, averaging about 200 a day. We spent about $35 million in wages. We spent about $20 million in purchasing, lumber, construction materials, rentals, food. In addition to SAG, AFTRA, DGA, WGA, we work extremely closely with 16 different local chapters of IATSE to create our show. And if you'll indulge me just for a moment to talk about one of those members, we have a guy on our show named Rob Neri, who's our special effects coordinator. And Rob's father was a special effects coordinator. And Rob's grandfather was a special effects coordinator and worked on the Three Stooges way back when. And so what we get by shooting a show on television, show here in Los Angeles, is we get Rob Neri. But we also get 3 generations worth of experience and apprenticeship and expertise and mastery that come with Rob Neri, that you can build another soundstage in another state, but you won't get a Rob Neri that comes with it. This city has been growing talent for decades and decades and decades. And that apprenticeship is worth a lot when you're going to make a film or television show. It shows up in quality, and I think that's a lot why The Pit has been so successful. So thank you so much. As an Angelino, I thank you. It's wonderful to meet the governor and the mayor. And I will now pass the baton to, oh my God, wrong glasses. It is my great pleasure to introduce Rebecca Ryan, the Western Executive Director and President of the EUC. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Last October, when Governor Newsom announced plans to double funding for the California Film and Television Incentive, no one could have predicted what the next 9 months would bring. On behalf of the 165,000 California members across IATSE, SAG-AFTRA, the Teamsters, the laborers, the DGA, the WGA, and the AFM, the Entertainment Union Coalition thanks you for fighting to keep our industry and our jobs in California. Despite the devastating wildfires, the cuts to federal funding, the budget deficit, and the deployment of our military onto our streets and into our neighborhoods, you never wavered in your commitment to the funding. You stood with the men and women who love this industry, love this state, and want to support their communities and work where they live. You understand that our industry is vital to the state's economy and cultural vibrancy, while also sustaining thousands of businesses and attracting visitors from around the world. Your leadership, along with the tremendous work on the program by Senator Allen, Assemblymember Zabur, and our many other allies in the legislature, has given hope to tens of thousands of working families, small businesses, vendors, and entire communities. Our members were looking for someone to act before it was too late to save their livelihoods, and you have. Sometimes in a world of hard choices, it can be easiest not to help anyone unless you can help everyone. But you didn't vacillate, you didn't equivocate, you didn't turn away or give up, you just made a choice. For that, you have our deepest gratitude. Now let's get people back to work. I never get that part right. Now it's my pleasure to introduce Renata Ray, business representative for IATSE Local 44 and Property Craft member.
Good morning. I am Renata Ray, a business representative at Local 44, but for the past 25 years I've worked in the property craft. I'm here today representing the 6,000 plus members of my local, the thousands of craftspersons all across IATSE, and the 165,000 workers in the Entertainment Union Coalition. Governor Newsom, we are here today to say thank you for signing this bill. But who exactly are we? We are the thousands of artisans whose names whip by in the credit roll at the end of the movie, not those that appear in large letters and fade slowly at the beginning of the movie. We don't go to the award shows. We work the award shows. We don't walk the red carpet. We lay the red carpet. We don't go to hear the orchestra play. We play in the orchestra. We are parents navigating the availability of childcare. We are renters concerned that soon we may be priced out of our modest apartments. We're the sandwich generation, caretakers balancing the maze of health care with the rising cost of food and gas. We lost much, but we are survivors of both the Altadena and Palisades fires. Every day across this country, people work for corporations run by wealthy individuals. They don't share in the corporation's wealth, and they are not advantaged by the corporation's fame. They earn a wage and are trying to make a living, and we are no different. Passing this enhanced funding for the California Film and Television Jobs Program will not serve the corporations. This bill, with quantifiable return on investment, will serve the thousands of California-based middle-class union members who work up and down the credit roll in the shadow crafts. It gives us a future. We are not the rich, we're not the famous. The signing of this bill means that now we are seen. Thank you, Governor Newsom, all the legislators, committee members, assembly members, aides, and staff. I am now happy to introduce Tom Ibarra, the founder and owner of Real Waste and Recycling.
All right, I brought my own camera guy, but I can't find him out here anywhere. Tyler? Oh, he's not going to film from there. That's my son. and first I want to thank my kids, Tyler, Chad, and Brooke, that we all work together in this industry. So first of all, thank them. So good morning, Governor Newsom, honored guests, brothers and sisters of this industry. My name is Tom Ibarra, and I'm here today to speak on behalf of numerous small businesses that rely on film and television industry to keep their doors open. A little bit about my journey. I grew up in a family that owned a trash company, and I often tell people that I was born in a dumpster. After 40 years of hauling everything that Los Angeles had to throw at me, in 2010 I decided to start my own company, Real Waste and Recycling. It focuses solely on the entertainment industry. Over the years, I've come to realize just how many families depend on this industry, not just for work and income, but for inspiration and hope. The behind-the-scenes businesses that support the entertainment industry throughout California, both directly and indirectly, often unseen, but are solely reliant on a vibrant industry to continue to operate. It's no secret that over the past several years, California sets have been quiet. We've watched productions and jobs they create leave for other states and countries with richer incentives. That exodus has hit small businesses hard. Massive layoffs, trucks parked, paychecks disappearing. Workers who've been with us for years started wondering whether we were going to be able to keep the doors open. To be honest, the outlook looked and felt grim. But today that changes. Through the official signing of legislation that lifts our state credit from $330 million to $750 million annually, Governor Newsom is sending a clear message. California is open for production again. This isn't just a line on a budget. Governor Newsom's steadfast leadership and commitment to industry families since October of last year is a necessary fuel and hope for thousands of small businesses like mine. The prop shop in Sun Valley can rehire its carpenters. The caterer in Pacoima can fire up the grills. The drivers, the location professionals, and hundreds of thousands of industry crew and cast members who can now stay close to home and still earn a living. When productions shoot here in California, the money ripples through every corner cafe, hardware store, dry cleaners, and all across our communities. To Governor Newsom, Senator Ben Allen, Assemblymember Rick Zabur, alongside state legislators, and the Entertainment Coalition, on behalf of the backbone of small businesses of Hollywood, thank you for believing in us and involving us in this fight. Now let's get California rolling again. It's now my honor to welcome Mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass.
Thank you. Well, this is a glorious morning in our area. I think this is what leadership is about. This is what coalition building is about. And I want to thank our governor for hanging in there, for being bold by presenting the tax credits at this amount. And finally, we're above New York after many, many years. Our legislative leaders, Senator Allen, Assemblymember Zabur, and the other representatives of the state legislature that are here today. This is a wonderful day for the industry after several very tough years. From watching production slip away to the point where other states developed their own capacity, where people didn't have to come home anymore, they could relocate. I was there in Sacramento when I served as speaker, and we got the first tax credits done. And then it was also another tough economic time, but we realized that the industry was slipping away. It was a small amount, and we had hoped that over the years it would grow, but it really took this legislative session to make it grow in such a substantial way that I know production that was already beginning to return to LA is going to flourish. And Noah, you did such a beautiful job painting a picture of the broad economic impact, and we're going through tough times in our city now. And so to know that this will keep the industry here and that that wide economic impact will be spread all over the region. Now, having said that, Sacramento did its job. Now it's time for LA City to do our job. I want to thank our entertainment committee that we have in the mayor's office, and I want to let everybody know that we're moving forward to say, what is our part? How can we make filming easier? How can we make the permit process more streamlined? How can we make it more cost-effective to film here? How can we remove the barriers so that when the tax credits go into full bloom and production is back here in a major way, we make sure that there is no impediment on any level of government so that our industry can flourish. Thank you very much. Very, very exciting day. And with that, let me introduce my Assembly member and leader of this effort in the Assembly, Assemblymember Rick Zuber.
Thank you, Mayor Bass. Thank you for your leadership. You have been a champion for this effort since you were the leader of the Assembly, and want to thank you for everything you've done for this. It's an honor to be here today with our governor. Thank you so much, Governor Newsom, and with so many colleagues and champions of California's entertainment industry. Today is a proud day for California, and especially for the hundreds of thousands of workers, craftspeople, and small business owners who make up the backbone of our film and television industry. With the signing of SB 132, we are making a bold and historic investment, expanding the film and tax credit program from $330 million to $750 million. That is something that we've been tried to do for many, many years, and it wasn't until Governor Newsom made that historic step this summer that we were able to do what we really needed to do for this industry. And that's not a number, that's a lifeline. It means jobs returning to our sound stages, crews back on set, local small businesses, caterers, dry cleaners, equipment rental shops getting to work again. It means working families being able to pay their bills and put roofs over their heads. It means workers across the state finally getting the stability they deserve. In recent years, we've watched productions leave our state in search of better incentives. And with that, we've seen far too many Californians lose jobs, steady work, and in some cases, hope. SB 132 is our promise that we will not stand by and let that trend continue. But we also know that funding alone isn't enough. And that's why I was proud to author, in partnership with Senator Allen here, AB 1138, the California Film and TV Jobs Act. And this bill is the second step, one that will modernize our tax credit program and ensure the greatest return on the $750 million investment that the governor has proposed and the legislature has adopted. It's about maximizing economic impact, prioritizing equity, and turning the tide on job loss. We are closer than ever to getting AB 1138 across the finish line, and I look forward to working with all of you again to make that happen. And I want to thank Governor Newsom once again for his leadership and vision, as well as our Senate Pro Tem Mike McGuire, our Assembly Speaker Robert Rivas, our Budget Chair Jesse Gabriel, who's here behind me, Assemblymember Gabriel and Assemblymember Quirk Silva, who led the budget committees on the Assembly side, have been unwavering supporters of this. I want to thank Senator Allen, who will be speaking in a minute, for his partnership and protection and commitment to protecting this cornerstone of our state's economy. I'm also deeply grateful to Mayor Bass, and I want to say something about the LA delegation. I'm getting a lot of credit today, but we had joint authors to this effort, Assemblymember Isaac Bryan, who's behind me, and Mike Gibson, who led one of the key committees, as well as Assembly members Schultz and Caloza and Fong and Gonzalez, and bipartisan support from Assemblymember Lackey. All of those folks, this was a team effort, and all of those folks fought for this funding that the governor proposed, and they deserve thanks and credit. Now, with the governor's signature on the funding expansion and the steps we're taking to modernize the program, we expect that everything will be in place for the first round of applications on June 7th under the new and improved 4.0 program, getting people back to work in just weeks. We're not just expanding a program, we're building a future, one where California remains the global capital of entertainment and where the people who make entertainment possible can thrive. Governor Newsom, thank you once again for your inspiring leadership. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to the best partner I could ever have, the person who led the Senate side of this effort, Senator Ben Allen.
Oh man, it's so exciting to be here today, right here at the Ranch Lot Studios, which is such a real symbol of the confidence that this industry has in rebuilding here and restarting all of the entertainment production that we know that ought to be happening here in our homeland, right here in the LA area. So this is an exciting moment for us. I'm Senator Ben Allen. I am so proud to represent Hollywood in the California State Senate, and I just had such a pleasure working with all these wonderful colleagues from labor, from the studios, from the governor's office, and of course our wonderful partners in the state assembly and in the legislature and the state senate. This has been such a wild ride. We all got together back in October. Who knew that this was all going to, all the things that would happen, and all the challenges that we would face trying to bring everyone together. But I'm just so excited to be here at this moment. I grew up here in Southern California, close to the industry. It's such an important part of what it is to be a Southern Californian. And there was always a sense of pride, an excitement, and a buzz associated with all the creative work that happens as a result of the entertainment industry. It's not just the actual production itself, but it's the musicians who play in the local chamber orchestra while they're not scoring and working on a film-related production. It's all the creative people who have helped to decorate and all the high school sets in theater programs up and down our region. It's all the folks who work to help to provide additional support to the industry, the florists, and the folks who drive the hospitality industry, and who help to cater to all the folks who come from all over the world to experience a little bit of this Hollywood magic. The event planners, all those kinds of things. This has been so woven into our cultural and social fabric for so many years. And we know that even though people see on TV the glitz and the glamour, the beautiful ball gowns at the Oscars, we know this is actually a working class operation. These are middle class and working people that are out there every day doing the work to put this incredible show on the screens for people all over the world. These are people that are keeping our economy and our region moving. And we know, unfortunately, that these folks have been suffering a lot recently, that the iconic production that always was such an important part of this region had slowed to a trickle. I know our colleague Jessica Colos's here, who just got elected to the state assembly, and she talked about how when she was going door to door in these neighborhoods, just trying to talk to folks about getting elected, so many people were coming to the door in the middle of the day on a weekday. And the reason is they were folks working who had great jobs a couple years ago, and they're at home just updating their resumes and trying to figure out what to do next because all the jobs had gone. And so she got a chance to see that really closely as she was on the campaign trail. And we all got to see it. We all were experiencing it. We know that we knew we needed to do something. And so the voice of this industry rose up, called the governor. The governor responded decisively. And then, of course, it was our job to make sure that this didn't become too leveraged in the budget process. And make sure that the legislators, came together, that we were able to bring in our friends and colleagues from all over the state, and we made sure to include special uplifts for production outside of the LA area. So we're going to see exciting productions happening in the Bay, in San Diego, in the Central Valley. Sacramento has become a really interesting filmmaking site. Who would have thought, right? But there's been some great movies made up there, and we're going to see a lot more. We're going to see a lot more. This is going to be something that's going to benefit Californians up and down our state because of the way we craft this. We crafted it to also include pipeline for new people, for a diverse community to get involved and get good jobs in this industry. So this would really represent our full California richness. We made sure to put in extra support for independent productions, which really needed and deserved our help. We put in place some extra support for music scoring, which we know the poor musicians have really been extra impacted by how easy it is to offshore this work. If you look at how cheap it is to produce a score in Bratislava or Skopje, or even in London, compared to Los Angeles. So we knew we needed to put some extra support for our musicians. So this was a group effort. I want to also thank, Rick thanked our wonderful partners in the Assembly. I want to thank our Senate leadership, Senator Mike McGuire, our President Pro Tem, our Budget Chair Scott Wiener. Both of them Northern Californians, but they got how important this was. I want to thank our wonderful co-authors, Senators Menjivar and Perez, Senator Stern, who's a product of the industry himself, Senators Valladares, one of our Republican co-authors, Senator Becker, Senator Rubio, so many of the members who stepped up to make this happen. This is just an exciting day for all of us. It's been an honor to be a part of this process and to work with you, Assembly member, as we've gotten this across the finish line. And again, I just really want to thank the governor for prioritizing this, for making this something that was that really brought us all together, and somehow we were able to land this in spite of all these enormous headwinds, difficult budgetary challenges, difficult negotiations on so many levels, and so many challenges faced by the federal government right now. So let's invite to the microphone our great governor, Gavin Newsom.
Thank you, Senator. Thank you, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thank you all for being here. Thank you. I feel like Trump at one of those rallies wanting to have the cameras turned to see the crowd over there. Noah was the one who brought up the Three Stooges, and it got me thinking about, what was that, Alligator Alcatraz yesterday, and the Three Stooges there, DeSantis and Noam and Trump. I blame Noah for that. Forgive me. I know. We're going to need Trump because he's talked about the importance of this industry, and we'd like to see him match the ambition that we're advancing here today in California, with the ambition to keep filmmaking all across the United States here in the United States. And so I am hopeful that we, in the hand of partnership, can continue to work with the administration, and he recognizes the opportunity to reinforce the commitment we're making here today in the great state of California. I want to thank Mayor Perez, I thank Mayor Bass, Rebecca, thank you for your comments, and Colleen. I want to particularly highlight the comments, not just to the two members that spoke a moment ago, Senator and our Assembly member, but particularly of Tom and Renata, because I think they really put in perspective what this is all about and said it better than any of us could possibly say it. And so I just want to express gratitude for distilling the essence of the why we're here and what it is all about. It's about all of you. It's about all of us. It's about, as was stated by the Senator, spirit and pride. Can't legislate spirit and pride. It tends to just take shape. But you can create the conditions to help take that and make it real, make it visible, spirit and pride. And so that's the investment we're making today, to create the conditions where your passion can be met with action, your creativity, your daring, your innovation can be brought to light. And that's a point of pride for me as a Californian, as someone who grew up mindful that the world we invented, 1878, in Palo Alto, California, the first cinematic images, that the world we invented is now competing against us, and that we've got to step up our game. I think we put our feet up. We took things for granted. Success leaves clues, after all, and we saw that recognition all across the globe, not just across the United States. It was first up there in Vancouver and Toronto, and then we started reading about New Zealand, Australia, and then quietly the UK emerges as a dominant force. We started to compete with Louisiana and New Mexico. We saw new tax incentives in New York, but we never saw what was coming in places like Georgia that invested in a sustainable mindset, not a situational mindset, to commit to the long haul, to the long term, to do more of this, and to make sure that they were competing in a very, very formidable way. We extended the tax credits. It was nice. We celebrated that. We changed some of the criteria. We created incentives. In fact, those incentives are being used to bear for this investment right here as it relates to $150 million tax incentives for prevailing wage union jobs. The hard hats, thank you, all the men and women working on this project to incentivize the kind of investment that are being made here with these 15 different studios at the ranch. But we were playing in the margins. We were working our way out of the pandemic, working our way out of some labor unrest and strikes, working out of more and more countries, many which I didn't even mention, stepping up and doing more, including other states. Just a week or two ago, Texas announcing they want to get in the game and start competing. And so we recognize that good enough never was, that we weren't interested in failing more efficiently, that we needed to do something more bold and significant. And we came together in October with many of you here behind me, many in front of me. And we made a commitment. We were resolved. But as the senator said, as the assembly member said, a lot happened between October and I'm not just talking about what happened in November, but a lot has happened since October till today. Last year we had $157.7 billion, record amount of tourism spend. We've seen a significant decline in tourism since January, and the tariffs and the retaliation, places like Canada that are pushing back. People aren't visiting the state like they were before. Why do I connect that dot? For obvious reasons. You do any objective survey, last one we just did, 4 out of 10 people that visit the state of California announced they visited the state of California because of the images that you produce, because of the icons that we promote, from the sun-drenched Central Valley to that International Orange and the Golden Gate Bridge to the beautiful Hollywood sign. People want to touch that. They want to connect with that. They want to be part of that. This is part of who we are, Brand California. It's part of the dream. And so we're here promoting the dream. We're here protecting the dream. But we're here because we're putting a face on it. And so, again, to Tom and Renata, to all of you, thank you for being that face. Thank you for giving us the courage, despite some budgetary headwinds, to maintain this commitment. Thank you to leadership of Assembly Members Burr, recognizing we needed to make improvements and modernize how we deliver this tax credit in partnership with Senator Allen, to the budget chair, Jesse Gabriel, who could have easily killed this before he was even heard. That's where the real power is in Sacramento. I thank you for holding strong to bipartisan support we received from the legislature. I'm grateful to all of you for stepping up and stepping into this moment. So with that, I brought my own pen. It'll be my pleasure now to sign this bill. And as I do, it was just mentioned, the application window opens on July 7th. July 7th, 6-month anniversary to the day of the fires here in Southern California. And so this is a big part of that renewal. This is a big part about LA rising. Rick, come up here. And Ben. Thank you, Ben. Thank you. Thank you all. Thanks, everybody.